How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. Okay, so today's game is a side-scrolling beat 'em up. There are some platforming elements there. It's an arcade port, and it's also the very first pack-in title released for the Sega Genesis. It's not Sonic the Hedgehog, the one before Sonic the Hedgehog. It was one of the first games released for the Sega Genesis, and it is known for having one of the funniest, in terms of voice quality, openings in gaming history. Today's game is Altered Beast. Altered Beast is set in ancient Greece, and you play as a long-dead warrior who has been raised from the grave by Zeus and sent on a quest to defeat Neph and retrieve Zeus's daughter Athena. Now, in order to fight through Neph's hordes, you are given the ability to change into different animals, or to assume the powers of different animals. And by doing that, the way you do that is by defeating Cerberus that runs across the screen that holds spirit orbs. Now, these spirit orbs are you collect 3 of them. Each one that you collect makes your character bigger, and the 3rd one turns him into an animal. Now, the 1st level you turn into a werewolf, 2nd level a dragon, 3rd level a bear man, 4th level a tiger, and the 5th level you turn into a golden werewolf. So 4 transformations basically. You play through 5 levels, and at the end of that 5th level you defeat Neph, who takes the form of a rhinoceros man. Now, I mentioned that because I just saw Wreck-It Ralph, and the rhinoceros man is actually in the support group in Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know if anybody else noticed that but me, but there's this purple rhino with armor on. That's Neph. I might be wrong. If I am, tell me in the comments, but I think that's Neph. But Altered Beast is a really cool game for what it represents, and it was one of the first really close to arcade perfect things on the Genesis, being that it was one of the first titles many players played when they got a Genesis. And its most notable thing was the speech that was used in the game. At the very beginning, when you press start, you hear Zeus say, "Rise from your grave." In the arcade version, it sounds crystal clear, like I just said it. The Genesis port, though, it's kind of garbled. It's like, "Rise from your grave." It's like drags on a little bit, and the Genesis version also, it's notable in that it features parallax scrolling in the backgrounds, whereas the arcade version didn't. But the Genesis version was released a year after the arcade version in 1989 versus 1988 when the arcade version came out. So that extra year gave them time to work on the scrolling and all that. There are some really grody bosses in Altered Beast. There's the guy in the first stage who basically rips his head off and throws it at you repeatedly. There's this giant creature that fires a bunch of eyeballs at you. If this game came out now, it would probably get an M rating because graphically it would be too intense. And matter of fact, they did try to release this game later on. They did an update to Altered Beast, or a remake or sequel or whatever it was, and it didn't get released in America. and that may have been a good thing because I heard it got panned by critics and stuff like that. And I don't even know if it was even truly released because I've seen video of it out in the wild, but it's one of those things where it didn't get released. Like I said, didn't get released in America, and we may have been better for it. But Altered Beast is incredibly cheap. You can find it anywhere if you really want to play it. You can also find it as part of the Sega Genesis collection on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, on the Sega Genesis collection on the PlayStation 2 and PSP, and download services. It's everywhere. So you can find a copy of Altered Beast like it ain't nothing. Like real easy. Like, this has been the 8-Bit Animal. I will catch you beautiful people tomorrow.